Alright, now the way to attach your decorations to the cake is just simply with a damp chucks. So what I normally do is just wet where it's going to go, which is highly unheard of. I was always taught when I was younger you never ever wet plastic icing, but we're just softening it, like just making it sticky enough that the lace pieces or embroidery pieces are going to stick, just like that. Then wipe your hands so they're perfectly dry to stick your embroidery pieces on. So here's our piece. I'm just going to stick it around like so. Just pat it down. Now anyone who can trace a pattern can make this cake. It is really, really basic. Can't get much simpler to make a really fancy. To do this the old-fashioned way, especially if you wanted it silver, you would have to mark the pattern out, you would have to pipe sideways, you would have to do it in white royal icing, leave it to dry, and then you would have to go back and paint it. So that's how it looks. So we're going to continue to do that with the next ones and make sure they join up. So the next thing I'm going to do is just practice with these to make sure they are going to join up, make sure we got our pattern right, without putting the water on, just to make sure, in case we need to leave a little bit of a gap, in which case we can then go over it ourselves with the silver, with just a little decoration that we make up on the go, or it'll fit. So there's a little bit of a gap, but that's not a problem. You can just fill that in with a snail's trail or piped edge, as long as all three look similar, all three tiers. Okay, so now that I've positioned it, I'm going to stick it down so that the top tier's covered. Just a little bit of wetness on the chucks. Wipe your hands. If it doesn't stick, just peel it back a little bit like that, where it's not wet. Put a little bit of moisture and then put it back up and it'll stick. So all you need is water. It's not like you have to repipe over it or anything like that. So there's 2 of our embroidery pieces done. Now we just need to do the third. Just continue to do this all the way around until the cake is finished. The reason the pattern may not fit is because I actually measured the cake tins as opposed to measuring the cakes once they were iced, so there may be a little bit of a gap. As I said, you can fix that with just a piped edge. You just want to try and make sure the gap's fairly even. Now Deco Magic is 100% edible. There are some of the glitters that are for decorative purposes only, and that's the same as when you use the straight glitter anyway. But all of the gold, silvers, the non-glitter ones are 100% edible. Okay, that's our embroidery pattern on the top of the 3-tier cake.